you got out to the 20-4 start, and then they got to within 6 the second half. Just overall, what your thoughts were, and without KJ in the game, how did you think you guys played?
I thought that the first 8 minutes were probably about as well as we could play, regardless of who's in the game. And then I thought the last 30 minutes we missed KJ when the game kind of settled in and how you're going to guard different things. But I thought they hung in there and did a really nice job. And I thought that we did some good things and we got the ball where it needed to go, but defensively we didn't do anything to put pressure on them or anything like that, like I'd hoped we would.
But what went into Flory getting the start?
Nothing. He's been the best of the other guys, at least to this point. So there really wasn't a decision to be made on that. I thought that, you know, and if you look at it statistically, our best team analytically, regardless of who's in the game, the best combination is Flory and Hunter. When you talk about points per possession offensively and points given up defensively, so it wasn't a hard decision.
Hunter said there was a brief conversation about just those two have to stay out of foul trouble. Was that a concern, a risk, anything like that?
I thought it was early on. I thought they'd really go after
Sure.
those guys just because of our lack of depth up front. But they did a good job for the most part. You know, Flory ended up getting 4, but I think that, you know, I think that Coleman did a good job playing to his experience and maybe some of our inexperience in some ways.
And KJ have much of a role? Did you get a feel for what he provided today?
I'm sure he was talking to him the whole time, but I didn't go down there and really try to get him to have a role, even though his role is to make sure that Flory is as good as he could be. So I'm sure he did that.
Coach, when you don't have KJ out there, do you have to think that this team has like a different identity? Do you coach it any different when you go, you know, smaller or bigger? Is it a different team that's on the floor in your eyes?
It's a different team because you know, we can run plays, we can do different things with KJ that not everybody is comfortable doing yet. But yeah, it's certainly a different team. But I don't know that. Maybe I should temper my expectations a little bit when we do sub, when KJ's not out there, because from a you know, covering and making up for mistakes and things like that, it seems like today when we made a mistake, K-State did a good job of making us pay for it. And a lot of times with KJ out there, you make a mistake and the other team doesn't even realize you made a mistake.
Coach, when they cut it to 6 with 4 minutes left, what was the message for your team there, and how do you think they responded to it?
Well, the message was that, you know, embrace it, because we're going to be in this situation again, and you got to learn to play through that when you've had momentum and you lose momentum and you need to get it back. And the biggest thing is, you know, getting stops, and we didn't do a good job getting stops by any stretch. I mean, we gave up 45 the second half, but I did think we scored pretty easy. And that's without making threes in the second half. I don't know how many we made in the second half. What were we? 1 for 3 the second half. So they took that away more and made us play inside. And I thought we did a pretty good job getting the ball to Hunt. We did some good things today, don't get me wrong, but when you start out that good, you certainly want to finish better than what we did.
Coach, you mentioned the 45-point second half. You had a stretch last week where you gave up 15 and 13 in the second half. How much of that defense today was KJ not being in there versus anything else?
I would say a lot of it was KJ not being in there, but you know, we're not going to have him. I mean, you look at it the first half, and I didn't think we were great, but you know, you give up what was it, 29 in the first half? That's usually pretty good. You know, you double that, they get 58, and everybody be happy with that. So I think a lot of it was our confusion on how we wanted to guard a ball screen, and then when we couldn't guard it, then just trying to, you know, play soft. And when you play soft, you don't really create pace or energy or turnovers, and that was probably as much as anything, that we were just trying to be honest with you, get through the game as much as we were trying to be in attack mode defensively there the last 10 minutes or so.
Coach, you said on Wednesday you guys played with great effort, but you didn't compete. Do you think you guys competed better today than what you showed on Wednesday?
Yeah, I would say so. But I mean, you look at statistically, you know, we got what's 35 out of 60. What percent is that? You know, that's close to 60% of the rebounds. You know, we took care of the basketball. We probably executed and got the ball where it needed to be more in the game today than we did in the second half. But I don't think from a defensive standpoint we were probably as energetic, as competitive as we were. You know, Iowa State, you know, they beat us, but you guys, at the under 4 timeout left, they had like 57 points. That means they scored 17 the second half. I mean, and so we did a better job, probably, our first shot defense in Ames than what we did today, though.
That stretch out of halftime where Hunter, I think, scored for you guys the first 5 baskets, what was working well for him there, and how important was that in keeping things running smoothly for you?
Well, I think that we scored easy there, but he made our first 5 baskets, and I don't know, probably in 7 possessions. And you look up and the score is not 10, but it's 13 or whatever. So obviously it was more of a trade basket type situation. But I think that was big that you know, that Hunt got going start second half. I thought that was a huge part of the game. I thought that was the most aggressive he's looked offensively in a long time.
What do you think of DeJuan chasing down the guy and blocking his shot a couple times late?
Yeah, I thought he made a couple of good plays. One of them was a transition play where he was coming at him, and the other one, I think Juan was actually guarding when he blocked it. But I thought he made 2 real good plays, and you know, he is a terrific layup shooter. You know, if he got it up on the glass, it seems like it went in when McDaniel did, and Juan did a pretty good job of eliminating it on those plays.
How big was Mayo?
Yeah, he was great. I mean, he was great. I thought he drove the ball better too. You know, he's getting better at getting fouled. I would have never thought going into the season that Zeke Mayo would be the guy that could get more free throws than anybody else on our team. So he's done a good job of getting downhill.
What's the verdict on how long KJ will be out?
Same thing I told you yesterday, Gary. I haven't had a medical report since then. So he's going to be out, I don't want to say significant time, because with KJ, you never know, but he won't play Wednesday. You know, that's for sure.
Since we won't see you, is Wednesday another huge road game to stay, you know, in the top echelon?
Yeah. Well, that's top echelon. We're a top echelon team, regardless of what happens Wednesday. But to stay at least in close contact with the leaders in the league, we got to take care of business Wednesday.
Anything else for Coach?